We're here in Madrid for the Laureus World Sports Award, and joining us, of course, is Jessica Ennis-Hill. Jessica, firstly, thank you so much for being here on Times Now. We are, of course, going straight to India. Do you have anything to say to your Indian audience? Is there anything that you know about India or like about India?
Firstly, I'd like to say hi. I hope that you enjoy the awards. It's such a fantastic occasion to bring together, the truly global athletes of the world who are achieving some incredible things. We have some fantastic Indian athletes as well that are, setting the world on alight. So, yeah, I'm a massive fan of, those athletes and what they're achieving, and very much looking forward to the next few years.
I'm so happy to, hear you say that you know about a lot of Indian athletes. Could you tell me some of them who, you keep a track on?
Yeah, Chopra,
Neeraj Chopra.
the javelin thrower, he is incredible. Obviously, you know how amazing he is, but he is in an event which is sometimes underrated.
Yes.
We've not had many truly global javelin throwers for a long time, and he has absolutely set the world on alight. The distances that he throws, I know he's a massive superstar in India, and he's a superstar in the rest of the world, and he's just an absolute joy to watch. He's probably one of my favourites.
Well, absolutely. I think he's our country's favorite, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone was waiting for him to breach the 90-meter mark, and then he
I
did that
know.
as well. But, let's also talk about just Indian athletics in general. When we talk about India, the perception is that, oh my God, there are just so many people, the population is so much, there should be so many medals as well. But, athletics, from your perception, how difficult is it to, be a good athlete, but then also make sure that that turns into medals for your country?
Yeah, it's not easy to do. It's really challenging, and you can have a great base of athletes. You can have a lot of athletes, but they need to be nurtured in the right way. They have to have the right pathways created. They have to have a great support network and coaching staff and team to help them facilitate their performance. So it's really hard to do. We'd all be Olympic and world champions if it was that easy, and it's not easy. But I think the great thing with your country is you have such a great pool of athletes and people to draw from. It's about selecting the right ones and being able to nurture them right the way to the top.
And India is also getting ready to welcome, world athletes, because we have our first World Athletic Championship happening in Bhubaneswar. Then we are also the official host for the 2030 Commonwealth Games as well. And then we're bidding for the 2030 Olympic Games as well. So obviously there's a lot to look forward to for not just Indian athletes, but athletes world over as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the exciting thing. I think that when you host championships and when the world is coming to your country and celebrating global athletics, then that shines a light on those individual performances and helps them to want to, hit those goals and be there at their home championships.
And let's also talk about the Laureus World Sports Awards. We are sitting in this beautiful setting here, and we are obviously building up to the awards. Just how is it for you? What are you feeling?
I think it's just an incredible event. I think as an athlete, you hear about the Laureus Awards, and I was fortunate to win Sportsman of the Year in 2013, and to be voted for by your peers, now being on an academy member and part of that voting process, it is such an honour. So the awards is such a special event to be able to, celebrate those huge performances, come together as a community, and also talk about, the charity work that Laureus does as well, and visit projects along the way.
To have Djokovic and Eileen hosted as well is also, very, very exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think to have two athletes up on stage, two totally different sports, phenomenal at what they've achieved within their careers and still competing, is a great way to celebrate them.
And one final question I have for you, Jessica. We talk about gender parity. We talk about, women and men being on equal footing in sport. And many sports have that with regard to, the same pay or the same prize money.
Yeah.
But what do you think overall from when you were an athlete to now? Do you think there have been changes, or do you think there's still a long way to go when we talk about, the man versus woman thing in sport even now?
Yeah, I still think there's a way to go. I think that we're never going to be completely equal. We're not there yet. We are creeping our way forwards, and I think that the limelight that is put on female athletes and creating great role models and supporting them is much better than it's ever been. And we've got some great female athletes across lots of different sports globally, which is fantastic. But we still need to keep, highlighting how amazing we are as female athletes and what we can go on and achieve and continue inspiring the next generation as well.
And Jessica, this time around, the Laureus Awards are going to be broadcasted in India for the very first time on our channel, which is At Times Now. So, what to all Indian audiences to come out and watch the awards as well?
Yeah, I would just encourage you to watch the awards. It's incredible. It's a great celebration of some phenomenal athletes. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy it.
Jessica, thank you so much for your time. It was really lovely speaking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.